Now you guys can't see my face, but my eyeballs are this big. I'm freaking out. I'm plugged into the jet. It's compressing my legs, sending blood to my brain so I don't black out. And I don't know if you could hear it, but the pilot was having a Sunday dinner conversation with somebody. And he was totally calm, and I was like, whoo! I'm glad it's not this dude's first day on the job, because if something happens to him, I cannot fly this plane. And I had an amazing experience, and we got to do some amazing aerials. And as I was experiencing that, I was terrified, but I realized that fear is just an emotion. And I could turn that fear into excitement in that moment. And then I quickly realized his only objective was to make me throw up, and I was like, that's rude, I'm a guest. And anyways, long story short, he made me throw up. But I realized that nothing great's ever accomplished on our own, and he had an amazing team around him, and I was so grateful. Again, it wasn't his first day on the job. And he had spent thousands of hours becoming that expert in what he was trying to do. And there's some experts in this room, but I promise you, they didn't start out the expert. And we live in a very unique day and age of social media. And everybody's the expert, everybody's the coach, everybody's the mentor. And what it's doing is it's freezing us as humans, because we're scared of that judgment, that ridicule, that we're not the best. I hope you all recognize that every expert had a humble beginning. And this was mine. This is a picture of me in my very first ever triathlon. Didn't know how to swim. I borrowed a bike. For crying out loud, I'm wearing a nose plug. And I'm gripping to the side of the pool, gasping for air, hoping I don't die. And I'm so grateful I had the courage to start on that day, because I went home that night after that amazing experience, and I was watching the TV, and they showed this Iron Man thing, and I was like, ooh, what's that? And the commentator, the NBC Sports commentator, said, this is the hardest single day in sports. And I was like, ooh, what's that? And they said, this is a 2.4 mile swim. And I'm like, I don't know how to swim. And they're like, this is a 112 mile bike ride. I don't own a bike. This is a 26.2 mile marathon run. I hate running. And so I was like, but they said, this is the hardest thing. I've got to do it. I've got to test myself. I want to know what that's like. And so it totals 140.6 miles. Single day, 140.6 miles. I got all excited. I went to Ironman.com. I signed up for a race, and I did everything I could to prepare. And when I got there on race day, I wasn't ready. But I'd done everything I could, and I got in the water with 2,000 other athletes, and the gun goes off, and the adrenaline releases. I had no idea what was going on. I got kicked in the face. I got punched. I got swam over top of. I was overwhelmed with chaos and confusion. In fact, in that moment, I got pulled down into the water. And as I look up and I'm under the surface, I'm like, this is it. This is how it ends. And then I was like, no, calm down. Come back up to the surface. Relax. Figure out how to navigate chaos. And I started to make my way through the athletes. I got out of the water. I found my bike. I got on the bike. The longest part of the race takes 6, 7, 8 hours to finish this. I've done 193 Ironmans every single time. Still today, about mile 80, I get a visitor. I'm on my bike, I get a visitor. And that visitor is the bully inside my head, and he's there to tell me, you're not good enough. You haven't done the work. You don't deserve to win. You don't deserve to be a champion. It's only going to get more difficult, more challenging. And we listen to that voice inside of our heads. When things get tough, we back down. We're missing the greatest opportunity in life to forge forward, to become better, to adapt, to evolve, and become invincible. I've learned that winning those conversations inside your head is the most important thing you can do. Nobody talks to you the amount of time that you talk to yourself. So how important are those conversations? And nobody would talk to you the way that you talk to yourself, so why would we tolerate it? I won that conversation. I got to the bike. I got to the run. It was incredible. It's the longest. It's a full Ironman, a full marathon, and a lot of you are thinking, why would anybody do this on purpose? If this is the result, why are you sacrificing so much time, energy, and effort to do it? Because I'm here to tell you today that it's not this moment. It's this one. And in this moment, everything goes away. The pain, the sacrifice, the energy, the effort, it all becomes worth it. And I wanted that experience as often as I could. So I set out to break 2 Guinness World Records. 1, most half Ironmans anybody's ever done in a single calendar year. And number 2, the most Ironman anybody's ever done in a single calendar year. And that journey took me to do 30 Ironmans through 11 countries. And at the time, the world record was 20 Ironmans, all official events. And I said, okay, I think I can do 30. And I made the announcement,